regular season. Then they didn't lose a game ever. He becomes the first Hoosier ever to win the Heisman Trophy and then finish it off in stirring fashion. The toughness as he's battered and heads to the end zone. Chris Fowler called it better than I just did.
Got to get to the 8. He's going to take off and run. Mendoza weaves his way first and goal, diving toward the end zone. Touchdown! That's where he won the Heisman Trophy.
They knocked off the U, and now tonight, staying at home, he celebrates with the family, going #1. We are joined now by the #1 pick in the NFL draft, heading to Vegas to play for the Raiders. It's Fernando Mendoza. And Fernando, welcome back to the program on a day where you knew incredible news was going to arrive just after 8 o'clock, but you can't know what it feels like until it actually happens. As you're sharing that with your family and your friends, and it's real, what's that like?
This moment has had a lot of anticipation. After the end of the college football season, it was a long pre-draft process. However, now I'm ecstatic to get to work and finally play football again.
I'm sure, and it'll be with the Raiders. And, you know, before you got to Indiana, they didn't have much history, and now they have a title. The history of the Raiders is very proud, but a lot of it is before you were born, frankly. What do you know about the proud tradition and history associated with the silver and black?
Well, I'm so proud and excited to be a part of the Silver and Black Raider Nation. I can't thank them enough. Can't thank Coach Kubiak, Mr. Spytek enough. I'm so blessed for the opportunity. I've studied up, and hopefully, I've studied up a lot. It's such a great legacy, and I'm proud to be a small part about it, and look forward to proving it and earning it every single day to try to make Raider Nation proud.
You didn't mention Tom Brady, and he's part of this Raider group. And I was in Miami the night you won the title, and I was on the field pregame, and it was a scene, man. It's Hollywood stars, and there's big-time folks from both fan bases and guys that had worn the uniform. And there's Tom Brady in the black, and he's unmistakable. Like, it's kind of a tryout, right, in a way. I'm just interested in what it's like to have a guy like that who's part of this process and what your experiences with him have been like.
What an incredible resources. I mean, I'm going to have a great coaching staff, like you said, and be able to learn from Mr. Brady. It's going to be such a phenomenal experience. I can't wait to soak it all in and to absorb all the information. I have a lot to learn and ready for it.
You are not in Pittsburgh. You're there in South Florida with family. And in seeing the faces, I get it. But if you could just, as a final thought, Fernando, just share with our viewers what it meant to you to be with the folks you're with tonight to share this news and this moment with them.
It meant the world to me to be able to share the moment with my family here in Miami. Everybody out, friends, families, mentors, cousins. Everybody, just a collection of people, because it takes a village. It wasn't just me. I've had great teammates, great coaches, and just a great support staff. And to be able to celebrate with them means the world. My mom wanted the party here, so mom gets what mom wants. However, whether it's in Pittsburgh or it's in Miami, Florida, I'm ready to get to work for Raider Nation.
Love it. And, as a parent, and someday I hope you are, to see their faces, it's hard to describe as a parent imagining what that moment would be like. But to give them a moment like that, right, where all that they've poured into you, you kind of give back to them. How do you describe what that personally means to you?
It personally means everything. My parents have instilled so many great attributes and morals in my life, and to give back to them and be able to showcase their ability to raise me on the biggest stage is so important. I owe them everything.
Well, I know you're having a party at the house, and the sooner I stop asking you questions, the sooner you can go enjoy it. Like South Florida, they stay up late down there, so I have a feeling the police are going to let you go as long as you want to go. Enjoy this night, Fernando. Congrats on all you've already accomplished, and all the best moving forward, all right?
Thank you so much. God bless.
Mark is in studio with us to talk draft, and in the space that you occupy, you talk to all of the tastemakers and the coaches, GMs, all the people that matter. Who blatantly lied to you and what they told you they were going to do versus what actually happened?
I think I missed a Roger Goodell memo that maybe all 32 teams said, if you have a fake Ruben Bain rumor go ahead and tell Kevin Clark about it, because I heard Saints, I heard Chiefs, but this morning had somebody with the Ravens say, hey, prayer circle that Ruben Bain falls. Manifesting, prayer circle, let's go. Need him at 14. He gets to 14. I go, here we go. The prayer circle worked. We lit all the candles. A guard from Penn State.
All right, so
Ruben Bain goes 15.
So maybe they I've heard God answers all prayers. Sometimes the answer is no. Although Bain was still available. How do you reconcile that versus the guard from Penn State?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's hard, and this is the hard thing about sourcing the draft. That's why every mock draft ever is wrong, is because if a scout says something, well, the GM can make a decision. If the GM says something, the owner can make a decision. They needed a guard. They needed interior offensive line help. We knew that. I think a lot of times around now when a guy falls to them in the draft, and that's all 32 teams, they're not ready for it. That's why guys sometimes fall 5-10 spots later than they should, because a team isn't anticipating it. So I think the guard, okay move. I think Ruben Bain's going to be great in Tampa, but man, that prayer circle.
wasn't what was what led you to believe that they might go that route?
I heard every single team with Ruben Bain, with the exception of the Raiders, basically.
A got him.
Tampa.
Okay, now let's do letter grades, because that's what all 32 teams. I don't like letter grades because who the hell knows. However, on a different show that airs in the morning, you said if Caleb Downs played for Dallas, they'd be what?
Instant contenders.
So they got him. So is that what they are?
You know what? If you live in the take game, you gotta stand in the paint.
Hot takes, baby.
You gotta
Hot
stand
takes.
in the paint.
All right, I know you like that pick.
Yeah.
However, another Ohio State defender is a pick that you love. Why?
Sonny Styles, and I'm not playing to the crowd here with the Commanders. Sonny Styles, I think, is going to end up being the best player in this draft in 5 years. He didn't miss a tackle until the playoffs. He was perfect. That never happens in college football. His athletic profile is closer to Julio Jones and Calvin Johnson than any other linebacker. I had Ryan Day on my show a couple weeks ago. He retired from hoops, Scott, because 8th grade Sonny Styles took 2 dribbles. He didn't even know who Sonny Styles was. 2 dribbles, dunked in his face, and said, you know what? That's about it for me. And hoops has not picked up a basketball since. That's the kind of athlete he was. He was a safety. He grew into being a linebacker. He is an incredible player who's going to be instantly all over the field. Dan Quinn knows how to use athletic linebackers. Adam Peters had Fred Warner in San Francisco. This is the perfect home for him. And I think everybody says when they get their guy, we couldn't believe he was going to be there for us. I think the Commanders made it today.
I love the pick as well. I just didn't think that the Washington Commanders would be able to get him. They did. Now, a pick that maybe it works, but you just don't see it making sense is who and why.
Love the player, hate the pick. Jeremiah Love to Arizona. It has Ashton Genty vibes from last year, where a great player goes team better. You can make a good infrastructure great with a running back, Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs, a historically good first-round running back from a couple years ago. But if you go to a place without a lot of hope, a running back is not going to give you that hope. So I think Jeremiah Love could have been an absolute superstar year one in a lot of places, including in the top 10. Arizona isn't one of them. And then just spending-wise, he's getting more guaranteed money than any running back in the history of the sport when you look at his contract. So I don't love it. I love the player.
Understood.
I worry about the situation this year.
All right, so as we've established, people told them there was a prayer circle for a player that they didn't take. No one's going to tell the truth because there's no incentive to tell any of us the truth, frankly. But there was a lot of chatter that Arizona might like to move out of that spot. But if you're having an auction for anything and you have established a minimum bid and that minimum bid's not met, then you just don't get rid of it. So is there a possibility that the threshold of what they needed/wanted to give up the draft capital of 3 that just didn't materialize?
Absolutely. And again, you want to go to fake rumors. I was walking around Pittsburgh yesterday before I came here. Every single human being I saw on the street said that the Saints were going to trade up and try to get Reese at 3. Every single person. And you were getting stopped on the street. People would know, hey, did you know Reese is going to go 3 to the Saints? So you just don't know how close they were, what the value they were looking for was at 3. They've been shopping that pick for a long time. It didn't end up materializing. And by the way, maybe, let's put conspiracies aside. Maybe they loved the player. Maybe they said, hey, Jeremiah Love can help us. Maybe it's not this year. Maybe we professionalize the offensive line in later rounds. Maybe we get a quarterback next year. It's a great draft to have a quarterback. So maybe they just love the player, and there's not a conspiracy theory here. I don't know what the plan is there, but I do know that especially when you have the third pick, you're going to have to give up next year's pick in the first round. A lot of teams are hesitant to do that because of allegedly the quarterbacks. Obviously, you're going to have Jeremiah Smith at the top of the draft next year. Nobody wants to be outside looking in on that draft. So I think having a third pick, trying to auction it off this time, that was problematic for Arizona.
More to come from Kevin as we look ahead towards tomorrow. It feels like the draft's over. It's just one round. There's significant